just to give you a bit of background about why we do these interviews, so what we kind of like to do is we've had a lot of members, past and present, who are kind of all around the world now. So this will hopefully be seen by people in New Zealand, Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, Ireland as well. And we've had so what we like to do is just ask a few questions about not just KCC, but also about you as a person, so people can kind of see who we're attracting to the club and who is now representing KCC.
So Barney Christopher, live in Stockwell at the moment, but I'm from Guernsey in Channel Islands, and got involved with KCC because I went abroad for a few years, moved back to London. I was just looking for someone to play cricket after, especially after England's kind of golden season where we had the World Cup and the Ashes here as well. Really got me inspired to actually go out and play again. So I used to play a bit in school and a bit when I was abroad, and just wanted to get involved. So I joined a random club in Southwark to go and play for them for a bit. Played one match for them, but I thought I wanted a bit more challenge in terms of the selection, because I kind of arrived and opened the batting after not playing for 2 years and played quite well. So I was looking for a bit more of a challenge to actually improve and play with people who are better than I am. So I kept on looking, found KCCC on Gumtree, popped Nama a message, and yeah, super kind, sent me all the information straight back, and then got me to the first net session within a few days. And yeah, I haven't looked back since, really.
So who would you say is your cricketing idol growing up?
Cricketing idol growing up? Alistair Cook's got to be up there. The kind of, opening batsman, very calm, collected guy. Went on to be captain for a long time. He's one of England's all-time greatest batsmen. And so yeah, I think he'd probably be my idol. Just that kind of solid, steady at the crease. But kind of becoming more into my recent cricketing playing, I'd probably say someone like Ben Stokes. That kind of all-rounder position where you can come in at 4 or 5 and smash a load of sixes and then go and take a few wickets as well. I think that would be kind of, for any kind of English boy, I think he's a pretty great cricketing icon.
How would you say that your lockdown's going? This is obviously the second lockdown. I don't think it's as stringent as the first one was, but still, it is kind of frustrating to be locked away. And but also for you personally, I think, I hope you don't mind me saying, but as members of KCC, we're also very happy when people do well in their personal lives as well. So obviously, when you sent that message around saying you got a new job, I think most of the club, if not all of us, were delighted for you. So I think that's kind of a silver lining to all of this, that you've managed to get a new job. For those that don't know, Barney's going to be stopping you sending nudes on Snapchat. He's going to be
or just viewing myself and sharing them elsewhere. It's been pretty great, I have to say. I mean, obviously first lockdown was a bit of a shock to the system, and then the second one is just kind of more frustrating than anything else, because obviously you understand all the reasons behind it, and the kind of firebreak lockdown. I've had more cases now than we had at the beginning of the COVID period, but I did feel that obviously joining you guys at the beginning of lockdown pretty much, and playing through the restrictions after that, it was quite nice to kind of get back into team sport and playing that way, being able to get out and see you guys and play sport in that way was great. And then obviously it's all been restricted again now. I know the cricket season's over, but I'm quite highly involved in Surbiton Hockey Club as well, and so that was midway through our season. At the moment, you just kind of cut 4 weeks out and then hoping that they're going to get squeezed in again. It's kind of a bit frustrating once you're in the swing of doing socially distanced and kind of COVID policy safe matches and socializing, to just have it all cut out. But I think in general, my lockdown's been pretty good. At the beginning, I was living in a 3-bed flat in Brixton, and it was all work from home, great internet with a couple of friends. So I had my own little support bubble. Everything's going quite well. And then now I've moved into a different flat with 2 friends, and I'm, as you said, got a new job at Snapchat, working for their kind of live streaming through London and Europe. So I'm massively stoked about that. But I get to start that next week. So I kind of got my feet up. Not really much to do in the second lockdown at the moment, with not being able to go and play team sports, not really much activities on. So I'm just maxing out on video games and putting my feet up while I can.
No, that's good, isn't it? Like I said, we all hope it goes really well for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
So more about you as a person then, Barney. So
Mm.
imagine that you've killed somebody, maybe Nisanka, because he's talking too much,
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
you're on death row. What food are you requesting for your final meal?
Ooh. Tell you what, it might be a big old rack of ribs. Big fan of the barbecue ribs, the spicy barbecue ribs. I'm big one with some chips on the side. Or actually, when I spent some time in Malaysia, the beef rendang is just next level. So yeah, potentially a beef rendang with fried egg on it is my backup choice.
So can you cook yourself, or are you hoping someone's cooking that for you? Well, obviously, if you're in jail, someone's cooking it for you. But on a day to day,
I think if it's my last meal as well, I'd want somebody else to cook it for me too, because I can cook, I just can't be trusted in the kitchen. I get too creative and start throwing stuff in last minute.
So sometimes, pre-COVID, when we had some friendly fixtures, some of the lads used to cook for the rest of the team for lunch.
Oh,
I think Sonny is the best cook we've experienced so far. But you'll be asked for your dish.
oh no.
Hopefully, sometime next season, once this COVID pandemic has eased. So I would start watching MasterChef and preparing for that, please.
Now bacon and egg sandwiches for everyone in that case.
So you mentioned it before about hockey.
Yeah.
So the question is obviously, if it's not cricket, what sport? I'm guessing you're going to tell me that you play hockey. And if you are going to answer that question with that answer, I have to say I'm quite disappointed in you, because hockey is the worst sport I've ever seen. And I used to hate playing that at school. But each to their own.
To each their own. That's what I think about football at the moment. So we got one of each other, I think.
No, you say that, but you've been a keen participant in KCCFC. We're hoping to restart that as well next week. Well, the week after next.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love a bit of five-a-side, kicking the ball around, seeing you guys and everything as well. But if we're going to class the best sports versus the worst, I think football's horrible, mate. I like the game of kicking the ball around, but it's anything above that. It's not a big fan of the Premier League and all the business side around football at the moment. But yeah, no, I'd say hockey. I've been playing since I was 7, I think, and so just brought up through the school side. Figured I could go and play in goal to avoid the warm-ups and everything. So been playing keeper since I was about 9, and then obviously went to university in Kingston. So I got heavily involved in Surbiton Hockey Club then, and I'm on kind of my 7th season at the moment. I'm social sec for them and setting up a live streaming stuff for all of their National League matches, so we can stream them around the UK. So kind of a bit too involved there at the moment. And now obviously getting involved with stuff at KCCC. I just like the idea of organising and helping out the club as best I can.
I think, KCC is dependent on people like you that want to kind of volunteer and get involved. Anything that you can get involved in, I encourage you to put your hand up, and let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel just being a member, like you turn up and play matches, and to change between being just a player and a kind of member of the collective team, I feel you have to give back a little bit. And whether it's you running these interviews and helping out from the front, or if it's me designing a new logo, or speaking to a friend about any sponsorship you can give, or answering the phone to new recruits, it's a tiny part of my day, but obviously it means such a big thing in the KCC perspective. So it's the least I can do to join such a great team.
I think the last person that designed the last logo was someone called Tony Beard, and if you achieve half of what he did for KCC, you'll also be a legend.
Oh wow, okay. I mean, his logo is pretty good. I don't think I'm going to top that anytime soon.
I'll let other people tell you about Tony and his antics. Your favorite film?
Favorite film? I have to say it's a bit of a drag to some people, but Interstellar is probably one of my favorites. It's just I know it's long and it's detailed and it's not that fun, but I'm really into kind of physics and astrophysics and theoretical quantum physics and stuff, and the way they depicted all space travel and the ending of time and all these like massive crazy questions. And obviously the cinematography is amazing as well. So I'd have to say that if you haven't seen it, go and sit yourself down for however it is, 3.25 hours, get a 4-pack of beer and let it wash over you, because yeah, it's a beautiful film, I have to say.
And what are you watching on Netflix right now?
Watching The Good Place at the moment. It's about so yeah, you die and you go to heaven, and it's kind of the concepts around that, but done in a really nice kind of bubbly, family friendly, PC comedy way. It's yeah, hilarious. I have to say, recommend it completely.
So it sounds like you're making the most of your time off.
This is it. Well, I won't tell you, I got up an hour ago.
So if you so let's say we're 10 years down the line and you're now CEO of Snapchat and they're going to make a Hollywood movie about you, who's going to play Barney?
Oh, who's going to play Barney? I would say Matthew McConaughey, but he's cracking on a bit now. I think he'd need a bit of makeup to get rid of those forehead lines. Who knows? By that stage, if I was CEO, it'd probably be someone like Seth Rogen or something. I reckon with all that money and power, I'd stick on a bit of the pounds and put my feet up a bit more. So yeah, probably I'd say Seth Rogen.
So what's your current phone background?
Current phone background? Oh, it's a bit boring at the moment. It's a nice kind of sunset scene over a mountain. I thought I'd been it's coming to Christmas. I haven't been on holiday for a good 10 months. So I'm pining a bit for the mountains to go skiing or hiking. So it's yeah, reflected on my phone completely, even my home screen background, some hiking trail in Canada.
So talking about your phone, what app would you say that you use the most? And obviously,
Ooh.
You can't really say Snapchat because that's not true. So
it's not true. I don't use it as much as I should either. That's the problem. I'd probably say Instagram's kind of a classic, and it jump on there and scroll. Or probably Reddit. I've gone there for kind of all kinds of random stuff because there's kind of something for everyone there, and it's.
And talk us through the kind of music that you like.
Oh, it's I hate this question because it's tricky, man. It's literally my friends take the piss out of me for having just a completely mental music taste, and it'll go from listening to Avenged Sevenfold for 2 hours of my day, and then skipping into some kind of jazz fusion lounge. And I started making a playlist the other day, and I can't remember the name, but it's that kind of vision of like a Spanish beach bar. Everything's white, and you're just drinking cocktails. That kind of like minimal deep house music going on in the background, and I was trying to create that idea, and then from that to Smetna's latest symphony, or not latest, but like most recent symphony. He's a Hungarian composer writing symphonies for orchestras and stuff. So it literally just depends on my frame of mood and whatever playlist comes on in my phone. I'm kind of a big fan of everything, to be honest.
So when I ask you that question again in like a year's time, if you don't say Bollywood, then obviously something's gone very wrong.
I'm waiting for somebody to introduce me to Bollywood music. I need somewhere to start properly, and I'm too scared of ruining it for myself.
Don't worry, you'll have ample opportunity when the cricket season starts.
To teach my hands as
well. so going back to cricket,
yeah.
Actually, before we do that, there's one last kind of non-cricketing question, or it might be a cricketing question, depending on how you answer it. Is if you had a dinner party and you had to invite 5 guests, who would you invite? They could be dead or alive. Yeah.
Okay. The cricketing side, it'd be Nathan Lyon for sure. I'd probably say Nathan Lyon and Joss Butler, because they're like probably the 2 nicest guys that I've ever seen play cricket, and they're just like genuinely just like actual kind of personality and sporting legends rather than actual just like quality. And I know Nathan Lyon's one of the best spin bowlers, and Joss Butler is obviously one of the best batsmen keepers in there. But yeah, just the 2 of them, I think they'd be great laugh together and individually too. So that's 2 of them. I'd probably say Snoop Dogg, because he'd be great chat. I reckon he's amazing around the dinner table with a glass of wine and Jay in his hand. What, 2 more? God, it's a tricky one, these, isn't it? I'm tempted to say Snoop Dogg.
You've got Snoop Dogg, Adam Levine, Nathan Lyon, and Joss Butler. I think you need a bit of intelligence there as well. Someone's got to bring the conversation to.
Bit of intelligence. It's a random one, but Sean Carroll. He's a physics lecturer. He's pretty famous around the scene for chatting stuff, but he could give me my insight there. Or Dr. Brian Cox. I
Well,
reckon
I
he
don't
could
think
throw his
Sean
weight.
Carroll or Brian Cox would enjoy sitting next to Snoop Dogg when he's got a J in his hand. But anyway.
Hey, well, you don't know, man. You don't know until you have them there.
So going back to KCC, before we wrap up this interview, how would you say your first season went? I know it was very hard with the pandemic, etc., and not playing competitive cricket, but how do you think you settled in at the club?
Yeah, honestly, from what I was looking for from a team, KCCC has been perfect. As I mentioned, I joined that team previously that were kind of a bit of a knock around, and it was all on AstroTurf, and it was kind of a low standard, low effort kind of game. So I was looking for a bit more, and obviously KCCC with the 3 teams or 4 teams with the T20 and the kids. I think the club mentality is awesome. Playing on a grass wicket, everyone I've met at the club is welcoming and very kind, and yeah, couldn't have asked for more from a season really. So there's no doubt I'll be coming back and buying a load of the kit next year, because as you can see, I'm not representing my the badge.
Yeah, I just noticed you wearing your cricket top. That's good commitment.
This is it. I thought it's either that or I get the pads on. I thought I'm not that committed to the scenes yet.
I was going to say before, when you were talking about hockey, goalkeeper, I think that's the only sport where you probably carry more kit than the cricket.
Yeah, well, this is what I thought when I first started facing pace bowlers. Is I'm not wearing enough gear. You know, in hockey and goal, I've got helmet, chest pad, arm guards, both gloves, shorts, legs, everything. And, you know, coming to bat with just a pair of pads and gloves. It's a bit scary, isn't it? I can't just shoulder the ball away or, you know, hit it with one of my hips. You get injured.
Got to use the bat. You have to use the bat.
So that's scary, man. Headbutting it now.
Have you got any favourite moments from last season? I know, again, it wasn't the greatest season to benchmark it off, but anything that you think, yeah, that was a really good moment for me, or the club, or yeah, or even yourself in general?
I think I can immediately think straight back to my best innings with the bat and the ball. And so there's one down in we played at Chiswick, and I only had kind of 3 overs towards the end of the game, and we were kind of battering them anyway. But I came in sort of much slower than I'd usually going for accuracy rather than pace, and got three wickets in a run out in 3 overs for about 6 runs. So it's definitely my best stats of the whole season, kind of out of nowhere, just medium pace and straight, and took 2 straight bowled and 1 LBW. So I was pretty stoked about that. And then with the bat, it was last game of the season when we were squeezing stuff in. There was the AstroTurf we were playing on, just kind of suited me very well, kind of consistent bounce. I still need to work out how to play on grass because I haven't quite mastered that yet. My multitude of ducks. But yeah, got a couple of big sixes over Cow Corner, and I thought I played quite well. I think I got about 37 and got caught by the end of it. But yeah, just loved playing both of them. And then obviously it's great to see everyone else scoring good runs. I think in that same match, Alistair got 100 retired. I thought that was brilliant to watch. And then yeah, every other game I've been in where various teammates have got 6 wickets or taken 50s, I think it's always great to see a team succeed, especially as individuals or as the team.
It's a very diplomatic answer. So what are you looking forward to next season? On the basis that we play a proper full season of competitive cricket, what are you looking forward to the most? What are your hopes as well, personally as well?
I think improving personally, just improving with the bat as far as I can, just getting more time at the crease and using that time appropriately, because obviously this season you come in and get bowled first ball, you know, so you got to wait another 7 days to go and practice on a grass wicket. So I think, yeah, just spending time at the crease, being patient, developing my game with the bat. Something I'm really looking forward to is hoping to keep next season as well. So I'm going to get some gloves and come in and try and put Harsh or Sunny Pie under some pressure for the spot in the thirds and seconds. So because I'm quite good at catching, so I've always been keen to do a bit more time behind the stump. So if there's potential for it, I'd be a big fan of trying to push this through and getting a spot.
I remember when you told me you were an amazing fielder, so I put you at long off in that T20 game. I think you dropped about 4 catches that day.
Yeah, that was a bad day to stick me there, but at least it didn't have me bowled, so it's still a win.
Well, good stuff. Like I said, we're really thankful for the effort you're putting in to get involved in KCC, and we look forward to seeing how you develop at the club in the next few years.
Thank you very much for being yourself and being so welcoming to the club. I think you and a load of the admin members and kind of everyone you play with, but specifically the people in points of power, such as Maxi, P, Nama, fantastic, so welcoming, and I just feel it's a fantastic club to be a part of. So yeah, thank you for cultivating that culture to make it nice to join.
So on that point, anyone that you don't like at the club?
No, even if I didn't, I wouldn't tell you either.
Right. If we were going on like a 3-hour trip to an away game, who was the person that you would least want to sit next to on the coach?
Oh, person I'd least want to sit next to. It's a tricky one, that, isn't it?
Not for
I'd
me,
probably say Janet, because he'd try and give me batting tips the entire time.
Who's that? Sorry.
Janet.
Janet.
He loves his technical ability, and it's fantastic when you're on the sidelines and he's giving you pointers going into bat. But I think there's a limit when you're travelling for 3 or 4 hours.
Well, Barney, like I said, thanks very much, and thanks for making the time for this. You're going to be on YouTube in the next day or so, so you can send it to all your friends back in Guernsey. I'm sure they'll be very proud of you that you made it in the big city of London.
For Kensington and Chelsea, nonetheless, as well.
Yeah,
the fanciest club we all know.
Well, take care, and hopefully we'll see you at football very soon.
Cool, yeah. Thanks, Zayn. You keep it easy, mate.
Bye bye.
Cheers.